Hello and welcome to my first Canada men's national team preview. I'm Tristan Folks and we're going to preview what's to come in this FIFA international window in the month of March. Canada will compete in the 2025 CONCACAF Nations League final in LA, California at SoFi Stadium where the Rams and Chargers play the NFL. They'll be the first seed and they'll be going up against fourth seed Mexico on March 20th. With the winners advancing to the final on March 23rd against second-seeded USA against third-seeded Panama, and the losers will also play on March 23rd as well. How did Canada get here? Well, they ended up playing in the quarterfinals against Suriname. When they were hosted in the first leg, they ended up getting a 1-0 win with Junior Hoylett scoring a late winner, and then back in Toronto, they took care of business with a 3-0 win in Leg 2, seeing Jacob Schaffelberg score a brace, as well as Jonathan David scoring, with the aggregate being a total of 4-0 for Canada against Suriname. We're going to highlight the roster here, and we're going to see a couple new big faces that we're going to see for many years to come, and it's very exciting. This side is notably also more healthy than their previous window as well, which is a positive, and not many weak points of depth, honestly. Unfortunately, I would say injuries take away the full potential, but it's a next man up mentality, and here we are. So first off, with the players that enter the roster that we did not see in the previous window against Suriname, we see Jerome Rosong from Sporting Kansas City return as an injury replacement. Starting center back Derek Cornelius returns from injury. And then we have one of our two first-time call-ups, with this first one featuring Promise David. And then we have Captain Alphonso Davies returning from his injury. And the other first-time call-up being Daniel Jepson. And then we also have the return of Tom McGill, who will be the third goalkeeper this window, it looks like. Players that are listed as injured is Sam Adekubi after he had a hot start of the season with Vancouver. Luke de Figueroa remains injured from the October window. He has not played a match within Fulham in any of their teams. He is still listed as injured. We have Richie Larea, who was the one who got replaced due to a hamstring injury he suffered with Toronto FC. And then we have Liam Miller, who continues to recover from his ACL tear. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like he started training once again with Hull City last month. He's out for the season, but maybe, just maybe, we'll see him for the Gold Cup over the summer. That would be great. Lastly, those who have been excluded from this camp will be forward Theo Barr, veteran Junior Hoylett, defender Kamal Miller, and then goalkeeper Jonathan Sirois. We're also going to introduce a couple of Canada's newest players as mentioned, but the first one we will do Promise David. Promise is from Brampton, Ontario, and he plays for, we'll abbreviate it, RUSG in the Belgian Pro League, the top league in Belgium, which I believe they are third in the table right now. He is a striker there, and he has been lights out for the club. In all competitions, he has 16 goals and 5 assists, notably scoring against Ajax and Amsterdam in the UEFA Europa League, and who is on top of the league table in Belgium. He is also 6'5" and brings height. That is massive, I feel, and we should probably see him this window without a doubt. The other player is Daniel Jepson, who y'all have probably known about for a while. He is from Oakville, Ontario, playing for Bournemouth of the Premier League in England, the top tier league. He was previously on loan for Watford as well before getting recalled due to injuries. He is a forward at 6'3", and he is the youngest player to score in his first start in the Premier League, which was for Sheffield United. In all competitions for both clubs, he has 2 goals, both coming this year in the FA Cup against West Brom and then Everton for his current club. We're going to go get into this formation here, and I feel that Jesse Marsh is looking to put the best players that are 1, ready, and 2, fit to play so they can all play with confidence, and we should see a 4-4-2. As the starting goalkeeper, we should see Dane St. Clair, as Maxime Crepeau has not been very hot for Portland for the second consecutive year, so it looks like the spot is just all St. Clair right now. At left back, we'll see the captain Alphonso Davies, which we should see him playing this whole match. The two center backs will have Derek Cornelius back out on the left, and then we will have Moise Bombito out on the right, who are all just looking spectacular. And then out at right back, we have Alistair Johnson, who holds that position down, and he has been stellar this year for Celtic. Overall, we have a very fit and speedy back line, which will be a threat. In the center of the midfield, on the other hand, based on fitness, I expect to see Ismail Kone, who is looking like himself lately on loan, with the vice-captain Steven Eustáquio playing alongside of him. I think Kone is going to have a great match. He may not, though, so we'll see. But I think he's going to show some fire. And then out on the left wing back side, I feel we're going to see Ali Ahmed, who is completely fit, unlike Jacob Schaffelberg, who is coming off an injury, but he played in his last match off the bench. So that is a good sign to come. On the right, we'll have Tajon Buchanan, who is beginning to find his form after a loan to Villarreal, which just saw him start against Real Madrid over the weekend, and he looked pretty good in that match based on the highlights I saw. And then up front, I expect to see star striker Jonathan David alongside Kyle Larin. And you may wonder, why are we still putting Larin in? I like when balls are sent up the field. I like his aerial ability, and he manages to possess the ball, which is a big thing of why I feel Canada is better than you may think they are up front. And, you know, he also has the experience too, and this is going to be a big match for him for sure. So that's going to be my starting 11. I feel a lot of our starting 11s look very identical. I know some people want to see Promise David. We're not going to just see him start right out of the blue. You know, I'm not going to rule it out. We're just going to let Jesse Marsch cook. But we could see some changes in the midfield, whether it's Kone or someone else. And maybe we don't see Larin, but I would fully expect to see Larin. And I would think we see Kone, but I don't think that's a guarantee. We'll just have to see. I will also go with my projected substitutes, and I made sure to just use all 6 here. 6 that are available. I would not want to be using all 6 because you're going to want to keep your best players out there. But we also introduce some of those best players. So the first substitute, which I fully believe will happen in the second half, we should be seeing Jacob Schaffelberg come on in the second half to replace Ali Ahmed. He'll be out on the left, and we'll see if he can use the space to cause some chaos on the left and then get some goal-scoring opportunities. For the second sub, we have Matthew Choinière coming in for Ismail Kone, but it also is going to depend really how this match goes, but I feel we may see him, who has been recently continuing to build fitness. I believe he's played his last 2 matches for Grasshopper in Switzerland, and he will be crucial for those set pieces, as he's shown to be when Jesse Marsch started using him against Uruguay. So I believe we're going to see him. I have no doubts about that, so we'll just have to see when. I fully believe this is going to happen, as we all want, and Promise Davis just really in form, but I also want to talk about his character for himself. He has quite the height for a striker, as we mentioned, and he could lead Canada to the promised land. I would not be shocked to see him replace Larin, and I'm very intrigued what he can do. He just, wherever he goes, he just scores goals, and we'll see if he can do it here. Substitute number 4, and you may question this one, but I really thought about this one, but I want to see Nico Seeger get involved. He can play in multiple positions, and we've seen him up and down the pitch last time against Mexico back in Dallas. I was at that match, and I like this cameo. I believe he's playing more as a right back, but he found his way up the pitch, and I think he had some of those flashy moments against Suriname too. But here, I would be interested to see him take off Tajon Buchanan here. I want to keep Alistair Johnson on the pitch, and you just want to have some fresh bodies out there and see if we can wear down Mexico out there, and the opponent after that. Substitute number 5, I don't really think we'll be seeing these, but I would not be shocked if maybe this does happen, as I talked about Jonathan Osorio here. This is a veteran who knows all about CONCACAF, and I would not be surprised to see him on the pitch instead of Spanier based on fitness later in the match. But for now, I'll say he replaces Estaquio and uses his veteran presence, which it did work pretty good back in September. Substitute number 6. This was a rough one. It really was. I just kind of thought about the situations based on my predictions and what I have seen from Jesse Marsch in the past. But if it had to go to 6 based on extra time, it probably means you have the lead. And this is something that's risky, but we're just forcing a sub in here. We're not saying it's going to be used, but I feel we could see a backline 5, seeing Joel Waterman come in. We've seen it already happen before, and do it at the end of the match. And he would probably have to replace Jonathan David out of all players, unless you want to replace a player that just came onto the pitch, which sure, that may not be a problem, but if you had to replace someone, I'd probably unfortunately do David. But if you really just wanted to have a fresher body out there, you could do Derek Cornelius. But that was just like a thought, a deep down thought. Don't count on it. Alright, and lastly, we are going to make some predictions. And I'm going to make these quite quick and simple here. And for the first match against Mexico, I'm going to go with a Canada 1-0 win. And I believe we're going to see Kyle Larin get that goal he deserved last time they met in Dallas. And he has 2 big goals against them already back in Edmonton from the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. I also expect, on the other hand, the USA to finally beat Panama in a competitive match, as they've lost to Panama in their last 2 competitive matches in the Gold Cup, and then most recently in Copa America. And then in the final, I believe we're going to see this one go the extra time, similar to the 4 Nations. I feel we're going to see something very similar to that. And I believe we are going to see Jonathan David just win it all for Canada with the 2-1 victory. Overall, I just feel the confidence. And this is, a big opportunity here. And, I feel these teams, that maybe not call them a team, but these group of men are just locked in. And they're, they're ready to win the title. They lost to the USA in Vegas roughly 2 years ago over the summer of 2023, and here's the chance to get that redemption. They just beat the USA in Kansas City, and the momentum's just on their side right now over all the other nations. So that's how I'm feeling about it. Other than that, I will be heading out to LA for these matches, and I'll be vlogging them in my days in between exploring. My Nan will also be out there with me, who, if you follow the channel, you've seen her in some videos, so she'll be out there with me. She is very excited for this. I'm happy that I have somebody to go with, even though we'll have everyone there. But it's nice that I'll have like a travel buddy for my 4 or 5 days there. And then also a little about myself. I also play in matches where I live, and I have them recorded. And we got some more soccer content on the way afterwards. So subscribe if you want to be a part of it all. Pretty soon, and I'm talking like, it is not very good. I have not even started packing, and I'm like literally supposed to be leaving in hours from now. This backpack right here will be getting packed up pretty soon, so that's something that needs to get done. I'm currently doing the laundry, so we're going to get that done, edit this video, get it out, and then we'll be on that flight from St. Louis to LAX. So I hope you have a great one. Take care.